Today, we are digging into a story that's, believe it or not, 2,500 years old. It's about a massive, abandoned construction project and the prophet who showed up with a wake-up call that completely turned things around.
But it all starts with this one kind of baffling question. I mean, think about it. Imagine a whole community finally home after decades in exile. The very first thing they do is start rebuilding their spiritual heart, their most sacred place, only to just stop and let it sit in ruins for over a decade. Why would they do that?
So let's set the scene. It is 520 BC. The Jewish people are back from their long exile in Babylon. They've been home for a while now, almost 20 years, and they had this one huge project, rebuilding their temple, the very center of their national and spiritual life. But after 16 years, nothing. The project has totally stalled out.
So what gives? What happened during this huge 16-year pause? Why did all that initial excitement and momentum just fizzle out?
Well, let's look at the timeline. Back in 536 BC, they lay the foundation. It's a big deal, lots of ceremony. But then, radio silence. For 16 years, the project is just abandoned. Apathy, maybe some opposition, it all takes over until the prophet Haggai shows up with a message that is going to change absolutely everything.
And this gets right to the heart of the problem. You see, the people hadn't stopped building entirely. Oh no, they were just building for themselves. They were busy using fancy wood to panel their own beautiful houses, all while God's house, the temple, was left a wreck. I mean, talk about getting your priorities completely backward. And this wasn't just some abstract spiritual issue. No, this had real, everyday consequences. Haggai lays it out perfectly. He's like, look around, folks. Your life isn't working. You're planting tons of seed, but getting tiny harvests. You're eating, but you never feel satisfied. You're earning money, but it seems to vanish. It was like trying to fill a bucket that was full of holes. A total cycle of frustration, and it was directly tied to their neglect of the temple.
So right into the middle of all this struggle and complacency, the prophet Haggai arrives. And he's got a message that is designed to be a direct, powerful wake-up call.
This is the question that just cuts through all the noise, all the excuses. Haggai is basically holding up a mirror to the people, and he's not just asking about a building project, is he? He's asking about their core values. Where was their focus? Where was their sense of honor?
And this is the key. This is his main point. He begs them to connect the dots. Think carefully, he says. Consider your ways. Take a hard look at your lives, the failed crops, the constant struggle. Now, look at the ruined temple. He's asking them, do you see the connection here? It's a call to some serious self-reflection.
And you know what's so incredible? It worked. The people actually listened. Haggai's message hit home, and it sparked this immediate, dramatic shift from total apathy to focused action.
And the speed of their response is just, wow. Get this. Haggai delivers his first message on the first day of the month. And just 23 days later, not months, not years, but days, the leaders and all the people are back at the construction site and they are working. It was this unified, swift response that came from a totally renewed sense of purpose.
And as soon as they commit, as soon as they get back to work, they get this powerful, encouraging promise directly from God. This wasn't just them deciding to try harder. This was God confirming that because they were putting Him first, His presence and His power would be right there with them, guaranteeing they'd succeed.
Okay, so they're back on track, right? Problem solved? Well, not exactly. Getting back to work wasn't the end of the story. Pretty soon, a whole new problem popped up. This time, it was a crisis of morale.
You can almost picture it, can't you? The work is finally underway again. But some of the older folks, the ones who could actually remember the original, magnificent Temple of Solomon, they look at this new, smaller building, and their hearts just sink. They're deeply discouraged. To them, this new temple looked like nothing in comparison. That's a tough spot to be in, where comparing things to a glorious past is robbing you of your joy right now.
And so once again, God speaks through Haggai. But this time, the message isn't a rebuke, it's not a wake-up call. It's this breathtaking promise designed to completely shift their perspective away from the past and toward the future.
God's solution to their discouragement is to completely reframe how they're seeing things. He basically tells them, stop looking back. You are measuring this by the wrong standard. He promises that this new temple's ultimate glory won't be in its size or its gold, but in something way, way bigger, His presence and ultimately the peace He will bring to that very spot.
Now, the prophecy ends with this very specific and really powerful symbol aimed right at their leader, Zerubbabel. And to get it, we need to know what a signet ring was. Think of it like a king's personal signature stamp. It had all his authority, his identity, his unbreakable word baked right into it. It was a huge deal.
And using this symbol leads to this absolutely stunning reversal of a generational curse. You see, Zerubbabel's grandfather, King Jehoiachin, had been told by the prophet Jeremiah that God was basically taking him off his finger like a signet ring and throwing him away. Ouch. But now God promises Zerubbabel, his grandson, the complete opposite. I will make you like my signet ring. This was a massive promise to restore the royal authority of David's line, a promise that points all the way forward to the Messiah.
So that's where we land. This story isn't just about ancient stones and timber, is it? It's a story about priorities, about consequences, and about these incredible divine promises. And it really forces us to ask ourselves, what are the paneled houses we're so busy building in our own lives, while maybe more important things are left in ruins? It's a wake-up call that still echoes even today.